In the car business, achieving a home run new vehicle launch is a rare feat. Even rarer is the launch of a groundbreaking car that defines a new and sizzling car classification. The 1964 Ford Mustang did just that, marking the birth of the pony car era with 3 solid years of strong sales before competitors caught up. Mustang sales soared, taking Dodge by surprise as they had nothing to compete with. Dodge was hungry to sell a Mustang competitor, but a Dodgified Plymouth Barracuda was off limits as it was considered unsuitable for Dodge's upscale image by Chrysler management. This challenge vexed Dodge for 4 years until they unveiled their ultimate muscle car masterpiece. In this video, we dive into the captivating history of the Dodge Charger. We'll start in the 1960s when Dodge transformed from producing dowdy darts and plain Polaras to crafting our all-time favorite high-performance muscle car icon, and journey along the Charger's timeline until present day. Stick around, you won't want to miss it. In 1964, Dodge introduced a Charger concept car, a wild creation born from a Polara with a robust 600 horsepower 426 cubic inch Hemi race engine. With an audacious, almost surreal appearance that could have been a George Barris creation, it was a hit at auto shows. This success inspired Dodge to commit to a production Charger based on the intermediate-sized B-body Coronet. To tease their future plans, Dodge designers unveiled the tantalizing Charger 2 concept, offering a glimpse of what was to come. In the meantime, Dodge cobbled together a Charger production car for sale in 1965, sorta. It was a limited production trim level offered on the Dart GT called the Dart Charger. 480 of these were produced, with yellow being the only color offered and the first time that the Charger name appeared on a Dodge production vehicle. It also came straight from the factory with Krager SS wheels. With no big blocks offered, it came with a 235 horsepower 273 cubic inch V8. It was okay, but definitely not a Mustang contender. In 1966, the Dodge Charger finally hit the streets. While still not a pony car, it brought its own charm. Built on Chrysler's B-body platform, it was based on the Dodge Coronet. What made it unique was its sweeping rear fastback design, striking full-width taillights, and a seamless front grille with hidden headlights. It looked a lot like the AMC Marlin from the side, with that thick C-pillar and miles of rear overhang, adding quite a bit of visual heft to the design. The Charger's debut coincided with the introduction of Chrysler's powerful 426 cubic inch 425 horsepower street Hemi, kickstarting their domination of the production car performance scene for the next 5 years. The 66 Charger offered a range of engines from the 318 V8 to the muscular Hemi, with both manual and automatic transmission options. The buying public greeted the Charger with a yawn, however, with Dodge moving only about 53,000 units in 1966 and 1967, the final year of this first-generation Charger design. Over in Dearborn, the celebratory champagne was still flowing strong, as the Mustang saw sales of almost 1.1 million units during the same time period. Clearly, Dodge had to do something drastic to steal some of those sweet, sweet Mustang sales, and do something they did. A total do-over was ordered to exercise that clunky, overcooked fastback look, and instead employed a Coke bottle styling aesthetic pioneered on the 1962 Studebaker Avanti. On the second-generation Charger that debuted in 1968, the full-length hidden headlight grille feature from the 67 model was carried over and became more aggressive on the 68. Out back, the full-length taillights from the 67 were ditched for the most excellent chrome round port types inset onto rectangular bezels. The rear roofline was toned down from the 1967 as well, and sported a flying buttress shape, creating a perfect, timeless look. The Charger was now a masterpiece in proportion. 1968 also saw the debut of the RT package, enhancing its performance with better suspension, brakes, and a 440 cubic inch Magnum V8, the standard engine. Of course, the mighty Hemi was an option, pumping out 425 horsepower. We also saw the 68 Charger establish itself as a cinematic icon in the movie Bullitt, in an epic chase scene with Frank Bullitt's 1968 Mustang GT, symbolizing the fierce real-world sales competition between the two cars. The 68 Charger wasn't just a car, it was a legend in the making, reshaping the landscape of American muscle cars. The second generation carried on for the 1969 and 1970 model year with mostly front and rear end styling changes and the same engine choices as the 68. In 1969, NASCAR's influence was all over the Charger lineup. First, there's the Dodge 500, a car designed to meet NASCAR homologation requirements with its unique flush-mounted rear window and an alternative front grille, borrowed from a 1968 Dodge Coronet. These changes improved its aero performance on high-speed oval tracks like Daytona and Talladega. Now, speaking of Daytona in '69, that's the year Dodge introduced the Wing Warrior, the Charger Daytona. With its fresh aero beak and massive rear wing, this car stuck to the banked ovals of NASCAR's super speedways like glue, dominating the race scene so hard that NASCAR banned it after only 2 seasons. Of course, we can't forget the '69 Charger's starring role as the General Lee on TV's Dukes of Hazzard series. For 8 years, beginning in 1979, we saw the General spend about as much time in the air as it did on the road, and putting a serious dent in the world's supply of vintage '69 Chargers that it smashed, crashed, and bashed each week. The last year of the second generation Charger roared into 1970 with a refreshed look. Up front, it harkened back to the '68 design, featuring a full-length grille, now without a center divider, and a new chrome loop-style bumper bezel. At the rear, the '70 Charger showcased sporty, almost full-length taillights, exuding a menacing vibe. Dodge pumped up the muscle even more by offering the 440 cubic inch 6-pack engine, featuring 3 2-barrel carburetors. The second generation Charger was indeed an unforgettable chapter in Charger history. In 1971, the Charger underwent a complete redesign, bidding farewell to the Coke bottle curves of the iconic '68 through '70 version. This third generation Charger adopted a more rounded design with a shorter rear deck and longer hood, and continued to offer the formidable 440 cubic inch 6-pack and Hemi engines. Sadly, 1971 marked the swan song year for these legendary engines in the Charger, as they soon fell victim to stricter emissions regulations, the oil crisis, and soaring insurance premiums. Regrettably, it morphed into a personal luxury car during the fourth generation from 1975 to 1978. The Charger name went away after 1978 and wouldn't appear again until 1981. The 1980s were a disappointing time for traditional muscle car fans who longed for the days of big horsepower rear-wheel drive muscle car mojo. In 1981, the Charger name returned as a performance option on the Omni 024 Fastback, with all of 84 horsepower wafting forth from its 2.2-liter 4-cylinder engine delivered to its front wheels. By 1983, the Omni 024 name was dropped and became the Dodge Charger, and also saw the birth of the Dodge Shelby Charger, developed by none other than Carroll Shelby himself, of 1960s Shelby Mustang fame. This move was Dodge's tribute to its performance heritage, and not let the present-day Charger bring complete dishonor and shame to its storied legacy. The Shelby Charger was produced from 1983 through 1987, and steadily amped up their engine power along the way, ultimately reaching its zenith with the 175 horsepower Shelby Charger GLHS in 1987. After that, the Charger name packed it in and went on a long vacation for the next 19 years. In 2005, Chrysler debuted its so gangster-looking rear-wheel drive 300 sedan based on its newly developed LX platform, thus paving the way for Dodge to resurrect a right-wheel drive Charger for the 2006 model year. As Chrysler was mostly owned by Daimler-Benz at the time, a lot of the Charger's components came from Mercedes-Benz models. This time around, the Charger was a 4-door sedan that came standard with a 3.5-liter V6 engine, but could be optioned with 2 Hemi V8 versions, a 5.7-liter and a 6.1-liter. The performance packages available were the RT, the Daytona RT, and the Super Bee in 2007, and the king, the SRT-8. The SRT-8 came with a 6.1-liter Hemi that put out 425 net horsepower compared to the 1960s and 1970s 425 gross rated horsepower. That made it the most powerful V8 engine that Dodge had ever put into a production vehicle up to that point. The Charger and the Hemi V8 was back, baby, and Dodge went all in on returning performance and street cred to its legendary steed for the next 17 years. For the 2011 model year, a refreshed 7th generation Charger went on sale, featuring a sleeker side profile look, a huge styling scallop along its sides, and a return to the full-width taillights. Its performance didn't suffer at all. The RT, the Super B, and the SRT-8 versions could still be had with the 5.7-liter or 6.4-liter Hemi engines. But the best was still yet to come. In 2015, the Charger got a makeover and emerged looking more aggressive and sinister with a sleek front fascia, low-profile headlamps, and a shorter grille. It was the Charger's best look in years. But why the change? Well, it needed to match up with Dodge's ultimate powerhouse, the 2015 Charger SRT Hellcat. Dodge's new beast put down 707 horsepower from its 6.2-liter supercharged V8, claiming the title of the fastest factory four-door sedan ever. With 0 to 60 arriving in 4.9 seconds, the quarter-mile vanquished in just 12 seconds at 107 miles per hour, Dodge was not exaggerating. And the hits kept coming. Beginning in 2015, Dodge released the Charger SRT 392, packing 485 horsepower from its 6.4-liter Hemi V8. Then in 2020, they dropped the Charger RT Scat Pack with an optional wide-body kit that included broader fenders along with upgraded wheels, tires, and suspension. More is better, and in this case the more was 2021's Charger SRT Red-Eye Widebody, a muscle car brute with a staggering 797 horsepower, a 220 mph speedometer, 20-inch diameter by 11-inch wide wheels, and 6-piston Brembo brakes. For this monster, 0 to 60 miles per hour showed up in just 3.6 seconds and an insane 10.6 second quarter mile at 129 miles per hour. Whoa! In 2022, Dodge unleashed the jailbreak Hellcat Red-Eye Widebody, packing a knockout punch with 807 horsepower from its 6.2-liter supercharged Hemi V8. Fast forward to 2023, and Dodge dropped the bombshell that the 5.7, 6.2, and 6.4-liter engines were on their way out. The Charger Hemi V8 was retiring, but not before announcing some special limited edition Charger Last Call editions. Meet the King Daytona, painted in an eye-catching Go Man Go orange, a Hellcat widebody red-eye with the 807 horsepower Hemi and only 300 made. Next up, the Charger Scat Pack Swinger, powered by the 392 Hemi delivering 485 horsepower and available in F8 green, sublime green, and white knuckle. A cool 1,000 of these were built. Last but certainly not least, the Charger Super B limited to 1,000 units, featuring the 392 Hemi and offered in heritage colors like B5 blue, sublime green, and plum crazy purple. Dodge pulled out all the stops for 2023 and saw to it that the V8 Hemi Charger went out in style, like a storied muscle car legend should. As for the Charger's future, Dodge has only announced that it's going electric. They've teased a concept car, but we've yet to see a production model. Could there be a surprise gas-powered version with new features? Dodge is keeping it hush-hush, putting the electric Charger in the spotlight for now. The mystery adds to the anticipation. We can't predict the future, but it's sure to be an electrifying ride, whichever way Dodge decides to go. That's it for now. We hope you enjoyed this video and extend our sincere thanks for watching. Be sure to like and share this video and subscribe to our channel.